USC begins its latest attempt to revive its football program, but what will it take for the Trojans to believe that real, legitimate progress has been made? Hi, I'm James with Faithful Angelino Sports. Now, for those of you who haven't seen these clips, who haven't seen this channel before, I'm a former sports writer. I covered professional and collegiate athletics across Southern California for more than 2 decades, and then the news industry imploded. I got laid off like a lot of other really good sports writers did. But with this channel, I get to talk about the teams I like on my terms, basically Los Angeles teams. So feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Definitely comment. I'm not claiming I know everything. So before I go into more detail about Saturday playing Rice, I want to tell you why this particular season opener matters to me. Okay? My friends and I would go back to the Coliseum in 2019 for kicks. I was the only USC fan in the bunch, and we all love football, so what the hell? Let's throw down some money. Let's watch the Trojans play. After all, it should be an easy win against Fresno State. Now, from my perspective, I already knew that Clay Helton was a poor head coach and an even worse disciplinarian. There were many USC grads from the program who were hired as analysts for sports networks like Fox. You got your Reggie Bush, your Matt Leinart, etc. They were already calling for Helton to lose his job. But hey, what the hell? It's the debut of Graham Harrell's air raid offense. Top recruit JT Daniels is at the helm. Should be a blowout. What's the worst that can happen? Now, if you remember that game, you know damn well what was the worst, right? Helton and Harrell, both poor communicators. Daniels is an underclassman running a brand new, high-risk, high-reward offense. He doesn't call timeout in a 2-minute drill. Fresno State comes with an all-out blitz, snaps the guy's knee like a twig, which of course began in the Keaton Slovis era and the further slide into oblivion. I bring this up because if you look at Saturday's game versus the Owls, you see a lot of new names, not just in the coaching staff, but on the roster. But you still see an air raid offense, and you see a defensive scheme that was the exact same thing that Clay Helton wanted to run. So the seed that I want to put in your head, if you are a Trojan fan, it's not the new names. It's not the glitz. It's not the hoopla. It's not, oh my God, we're nonstop going to the college football playoffs. It's to find out if these new names, the players and the coaches, can communicate with each other better than Helton and his staff could with those guys. If they play and lead with the discipline that reaches the players more than the 7 years of misery under Clay Helton. Because there's absolutely zero chance that USC loses today. It's not going to happen. I can't imagine the Trojans winning by fewer than 3 touchdowns. I'm not a betting man, but I could see Riley going for it and making a statement. I could see even putting in the reserves and dropping as many as 60 points on Rice. I really can. It's like putting a grape under the tires of a big rig. You're not even going to notice that you just squished them. Even if, God forbid, what happens to JT Daniels happens to Caleb Williams, the new quarterback, Riley has a lot of faith in backup quarterback Miller Moss, but I digress. Rice's head coach, Mike Bloomington, he's in the final year of his contract, and he tried talking a tough game against the Trojans earlier this week, suggesting SC won't know what hit him. We don't even have to think. We know what USC is actually going to expect. Rice went 4-8 last year. Rice, they have no top prospects for the NFL draft this year, according to the national outlets. They do like to run the ball to try to keep the score manageable. So you're going to see a lot of 2 tight end formations with a fullback. A guy named Ari Broussard will carry the ball a lot. And defensively, they got a tackle named Ikenna Edechikuru who registered 4.5 sacks last year. But the more time I spend talking about Rice, it misses the point. I don't want to be dismissive, but let's be real. USC brought in Riley, Caleb Williams, Jordan Addison, Travis Lee, Shane Lee, etc. because this is an ambitious program. So this match is about ambition plus execution plus discipline. Riley's air raid is supposed to be substantially different than Graham Harrell's version. We actually broke down the running schemes on it on this channel earlier this year. Expect USC to run a lot of counter tray. Now, for those of you who don't know X's and O's, counter tray is basically taking offensive linemen from the weak side, having them flood the other side after the snap to overload the line of scrimmage where the running back is going to go. Addison's a defending Biletnikoff winner, that's the award given to the best receiver in the country. Williams, their physical mismatches, they're going to overload whoever Rice puts on the field. It wouldn't surprise me if Caleb Williams only plays a half. Defensively, the Trojans will run out of a base 3-3-5 against a 2 tight end set. Now that's going to be a mismatch in favor of Rice in terms of people in the box. So USC is going to have to push people up on the line. This is actually good. It's actually good because the next week USC is going to play Stanford. Stanford runs the ball a lot too. So they're going to need to do that. To me, the defense will matter more than the offensive results because we know USC can score at will. What we don't know is how the defensive line shakes out. Tui Pulotu is a monster, but unless your name is Aaron Donald, few defensive tackles can single-handedly overtake a game. We need to see something from Romello Height and from Corey Foreman. But the more important thing, I can't stop repeating this, USC needs a drastic reduction in stupidity. Because if you circle back to that Fresno State game, I mentioned earlier how we all knew Clay Helton was lax in discipline. In that game, the Trojans were flagged on the opening kickoff because 2 players wore the same jersey number. It was a penalty so stupid I couldn't believe my eyes. So cutting down on silly penalties, offsides, late hits, illegal formations, that, along with defensive production, those are your keys to see how far this program has come back. So is it a baby step or one giant leap for Trojan kind? We'll find out. If you enjoyed this clip, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelinos. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelinos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.